So guys, finally I upgraded from this drone, the original Mavic Mini, to this one right here. I mean, not this box, but what is inside. So let's talk a bit about this original DJI MAVIC MINI drone. This was released in November 2019, I think. And what was interesting about this one and why it was such a hype regarding it is the weight of this one, which is 249 grams, and it's below the regulations of 250 grams. So you basically, in many countries, you don't have to obey to any rules when you are flying this one. So this one came with a 3-axis gimbal, this one right here, and with a 12 megapixel camera that is capable of shooting 2.7K at 30 frames per second and 1080p at 60 frames per second. It has a flight time of 30 minutes and a range of 4 kilometers. It's a 24mm camera with an aperture of 2.8. It didn't have any RAW, just JPEG, which was not that great, and just bottom sensors to be able to land, and that was it. Regarding this one, the DJI MINI 3 Pro, it was released in May 2022, so after 1.5 years, roughly 1.5 years after the second version of this drone, the Mini 2, which was released in something like November 2020. So it was quite a bit of waiting for this, but it really paid off. Right off the bat, this image reminds me of the leaked image that was leaked I think weeks or maybe even 2 months before the official release, and it was exactly this image that you are seeing it here on this box. And many people were saying that this image, that image that time was not legit, it was a fake image, because the drone looks different than the Mini 2 and the original Mini. And on that picture was looking even more strange. I don't know, maybe how they took the image. And with this really nice controller, many people were skeptic that this is a real image, a legit image. But it turned out to be really the image on the box. So 2 months before the official release, to have this leaked. There are two things coming out of this. DJI are not very good at keeping secrets, or maybe they don't want. Maybe they released this image, to give people an image of what they would expect from this new drone. This time I will not pretend, that I'm opening this box right now, because I couldn't wait and I already opened it to see what is inside. So inside there are some backup propellers, some spare propellers, 4 of them, an USB short cable, and a screwdriver to remove those propellers in case you need it. Beside that, there is the drone. So comparing it with the original Mavic Mini, you see it's quite bigger, the size, but fortunately they maintain it under 250 grams. So for me this is very important, because I don't want to deal with any licenses, any insurances. I just want a toy drone that is very capable, and this one really is. What I noticed right away is the size of the propellers, which is actually quite increased since the first version of the Mini drone. Now let's talk a bit about the things that they improved since the first version, and those are also the reasons why I upgraded from the original Mavic Mini. As I said, the most important thing for me was that they keep it under 250 grams, and then they put a better camera here, which has a bigger sensor. It can take 48 megapixels RAW photos, comparing to only 12 megapixels, the original one, and just JPEG format, no RAW. Regarding the video, you also have here this Cinelight, which is a flat profile from DJI, but you have to pay attention that it's only 8-bit, it's shooting only 8-bit, not 10-bit, like the other bigger drones, or like my CANON R6 that I'm filming right now. But at least it is something. You find on YouTube tutorials on how to color grade this Cinelight, because I think it was the same profile when they released the Mavic Air 2, and I saw on the internet that there are really nice videos on how to color grade this Cinelight. They also increased a bit the flight time, which is now 34 minutes instead of 30 like it was on the original one, and this is with the normal batteries. If you have the bigger ones, you can go up to 47 minutes, but I understood that those bigger batteries will not sell in Europe, because the bigger batteries are also heavier, and you will go above the 250 grams. Like you can see, the 3-axis gimbal, the new camera, which is tilted up, both of them are 24 millimeters, but this one is an f2.8, so an aperture of 2.8, and this one is 1.7, so the sensor let a lot more light to come in, so you will have better performance in low light. This gimbal can go from minus 90 degrees up to 60 degrees, so you have more motion range with this new drone. You can also see that here the design is different to allow the gimbal to go up to plus 60 degrees. The new one has also back and front sensors. You know, the front sensors are impossible not to notice them because they are quite big, and here on the back there are the back sensors. So this front and back sensors are used for obstacle avoidance, because this drone now has functionality, you know, to follow you from the back, from the front, and these sensors are used for that. This drone can also follow you from has a function of parallel following you, but you have to pay attention because it doesn't have side sensor, so it will fly on the side like this, and if there are some obstacles, it will not be able to stop, and you will crash the drone. So you have to pay attention when you are using that function. This camera is capable of 4K, shooting in 4K up to 60 frames per second, and it also has an optical or a digital zoom. When you are in 4K, you can zoom twice, in 2.7K 3 times, and in 1080p 4 times. I don't know how it looks like. I barely wait to test it and see. The first model had here in the back, you know, the place where you put the card, and then USB 2, and also something like a small door where you put the battery inside, right here. Now they change it in this one, and when you want to remove the battery, you have to push these two things here, and actually there is no door here. It's just, you know, the battery is part of the drone right now. Also, they change how you unfold the drone. So here you cannot, you see, you cannot unfold these propellers because you cannot the back ones, because then you cannot unfold the ones in the front. So here you have to do it first, the ones in the front, and then the ones in the back. But on the new one, you can do it in any order you want. Back and then the front, or first the front and then the back. So they changed that, you know, to be able to do it in any order you want. And now in the back they also changed the port. Here is an USB-C, and here is the the place for the micro SD card. I'm using these ones here, you know, the SanDisk Extreme Pro. The 64 gigabytes I will use it for the RC controller that I have is right here, and I have another one that is 128 gigabytes and I will use it in the drone. These memory cards are able to read up to 170 megabytes per second and write up to 90 megabytes per second. And pretty much the same I'm using for my Canon R6, so I really trust this one. I think they are really good. Now, check out the difference between the controllers. So now remember, this one is the old controller for the the original Mavic Mini. They changed it with the Mavic Mini 2. It looks better, but still this one here I think is really a piece of art. Looks, feels really great. So why this the new RC controller and not the old one that you have it for the Mini 2? Well, first of all, I don't want to use my phone when I'm flying my drone. You know, I don't want to use this phone when I'm flying the drone, because I'm always thinking what happens if someone is calling me or I get some messages, emails, whatever. I don't want to have another cable and to put my phone every time in the drone when I'm flying it. This one is integrated, looks really good, and yeah, of course it's a bit expensive, but what is not expensive nowadays? The difference that I'm seeing right now here is that this one, the old one, had external antennas, and in the new one they integrated everything inside. You don't have to unfold them, and yeah, it looks really better. Here on the front there are, you know, the sticks, the controllers, and a button for to land the drone. And they also change, you know, on the old one you had this button to change the mode from sport, cinematic, and normal. There are some switch buttons here. You are doing it directly in the controller. I always have it on cinematic. I don't ever fly quick. There is the turn on button, turn off button there. These buttons you also have on the old controller, you know, to take a picture or to start recording video. And on the old one it was just one button here where you could tilt the gimbal, you know, and now you have two, and one is for gimbal and the other one is for zoom. I don't know exactly which one is, but I'll find out as soon as I start the drone. On the back it's very simple, two configurable buttons, C1 and C2, and yeah, that's it. So right now I'll charge the drone and the RC controller, and I have only one battery because the Fly More combo, I cannot find it yet. Probably will take 1 to maybe more weeks until I will get it. So I will have a test fly with only the battery that came in the drone, and I will put the 64 gigabytes of memory in the controller and the 128 in the drone, and let's see how it works. So thank you for watching this video. I will record another one soon with my first test flight. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I see you in the next one. Take care.